In my opinion, Herpa does far too few of these small regional aircraft types, and it's been years ago since they last did a Dornier 328. Just more the reason to take a closer look at what they did here. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at a Dornier Do-328 of ADAC. At the front of the box we have a lovely rendition of the aircraft, and we also have the ADAC branding. Then on the back side of the box we have a lovely close-up of the tail section of the aircraft in real life, and we are given the original dimensions as well as some additional information. So that's it for the box. Let's take a closer look inside and at the aircraft model itself. And here she is, the Dornier 328 in the current livery of ADAC Ambulance. And yeah, you probably already figured it out. This is not a normal PAX operating aircraft, but in fact an air ambulance. Now, ADAC is Europe's largest motoring association. It would, however, probably be more aptly described today as an individual mobility association, since it looks more broadly at all transport options ensuring individual mobility. Under the air medical branch, ADAC operates numerous helicopters and a few aircraft, among those two Dornier 328s. But now let us take a closer look at this tiny little aircraft model, starting off with the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the ADAC ambulance branding. On the fuselage we then have the full registration code of the aircraft and the German flag. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we then have the ADAC branding once more, and the ARC Europe logo, which as far as I know is like an umbrella organization for various European motoring associations. The cockpit section itself is rather bare boned, but we do have the cockpit windows printed on, as well as the emergency hatch for the cockpit just above the cockpit windows. The engine nacelles have been kept in yellow, just as most of the fuselage, and do have the silver leading edge printed on, as well as the writing of ambulance. Also, the physical detailing of the engines I think is quite acceptable. For example, when we look into the engines, sure, we might not fully be able to see the engine fan blades, but there's clearly some detailing in, and given how small these engines are, I'd say it's actually quite impressive what Herpa has managed to pull off here. And then we can move on to the wings and take a look at the top side. And sure, they could have been more detailed, especially the detailing of, for example, flaps and slats could have been more pronounced. But overall, I would still say it is quite alright, again, given how small this aircraft model actually is. And keeping that in mind, I would then say that the detailing of the landing gear actually is quite excellent. Perhaps the front landing gear could have been a tiny bit smaller, but overall I would say it actually looks really nice. So there we have it, the Dornier 328 of ADAC Ambulance from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? I am actually quite happy with this aircraft model. Sure, there are some things that maybe could have been done better, but we have to keep in mind how tiny this aircraft model really is. It comes in at a length just over 4 centimeters, a width of just around 4 centimeters, and a maximum height at around maybe 1.5 centimeters. This thing is tiny, and for that Herpa has actually done an impressively good job. Of course, given the fact that it is not a normal passenger carrying airliner, it might not be everyone's cup of tea. I would still, however, argue that this aircraft model is very much worth having in one's collection. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed it, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.